Hello, Capsu crews. Welcome back to Capsu Gaming. I'm your host, Capsu, and today we'll be continuing our series called Wapping with Capsu. Join me as we wap together and listen to me have a conversation with you, the Capsu crews. If you have something you want us to cover, please let us know down below. Let's jump right into it. First, check your character preset and familiar, then our buffs, EXP, MVP, Monster Park Potion, Legion Green and Gold coupons, and finally, our WAP. Then, pick your favorite map to WAP. Today's conversation is about perfectionism. It's something that I think we all can relate, especially me. I find it that perfectionism is something that is a core aspect of myself, and you may probably relate as well. We often find ourselves being our worst critic. We judge ourselves too harshly. And while I do find pride in the things that I want to be perfect, I do recognize that there is some downside if you're not careful. Especially if you are too focused on getting everything perfect, then you find yourself unable to get anything done. When nothing is good enough, nothing gets done. The fear of failure, I believe it, because if it's not good enough, we fear that we will fail. And that's why we want everything to be perfect. But we need to constantly keep moving, guys. I myself especially need to not fear failure, but instead embrace it. And that's part of perfectionism. We are concerned that we may not be good enough. We fear that the best of our best isn't gonna get where we want to be. We are either letting ourselves down or someone else down. While yes, perfectionism can be a driving force for us to achieve greatness. We can do things, great things, because we strive to have a high standard, but it is also a double-edged sword. It can prevent us from being satisfied, from being content. It will make us feel like we are having imposter syndrome, and it feels like we don't belong where we should belong. So if it's not perfect, it shouldn't even be here. But my friends, the Capsu crews, it's okay to not have it perfect. It's okay for it just to be good enough. It is good enough. As long as it gets the job done, right? If the job gets done, then it's done. And because it gets done, it means that we have made a mark. Yes, it's scary. It's very scary to leave traces of our failure, traces of our, whatever we're doing, whether it's our attempt to learn, our attempt to be trying something different, like new fashion, or whether it's spending way too much meso in Maplestory. The good thing is, it's okay. It's okay for it just to be good enough. It's okay for it to be wrong. It's okay to not get it right the first time. We leave our mark so that we can look back at it and realize that how far we've gone, how much we have improved on. I think that's something that we take for granted, that we don't look back on our own progress it's crazy to think that we are always the way we are, or that we are always an expert. We were never in a position as a new starter, a newbie. Like it's some sort of shame, something that is frowned upon. And because of that, I think that does contribute to perfectionism, right? Is that if we're not an expert, if we don't think that it's the absolute best, then there is dissatisfaction that it's not good enough. But it's okay, guys. I know I'll try to reassure you guys. Making a mistake is fine, as long as you do one thing, and that is redemption. I think that most people can be able to be in tune with themselves and find themselves again as long as they have this key component, which is redemption. As if you make something that is not good enough, there's always redemption, guys. And what redemption means, it doesn't mean that, redemption means forgiveness. It never really means forgiveness. What is redemption to me? What is redemption for you guys? But for me, redemption means that making things right, that is for yourself. Do it right. Do it right by you. It doesn't mean do it right by other people. Do it for you. Make it right. How would you make it right? How would you redeem yourself? That's what it really means to have redemption. I don't believe going to other people and weeping and crying for forgiveness is what redemption means. Redemption means that you acknowledge that you have made a mistake. You've made a mistake, you take accountability for it, and you do everything in your power to make it right, regardless if the person that you've done wrong cares, acknowledge, or even pay attention to. You do it because it's a selfish thing to do. It really is. It's a selfish thing to do because you're doing it for yourself. You want to ease your conscience, and that's what redemption is. It's doing it right by you. Do it right how you deem fit. And it's a continuous thing that you don't just stop. You make sure that whatever you've done, whether it's hurting someone, having atonements, or mistakes in your life, failures, as long as you guys have redemption, there's always hope. And that's why having this key component in your life, perfectionism, can be overcome. Your goal should be getting the job done, guys. Just do it. It might not be the prettiest, it might not be good, but it gets the job done. And it leaves a mark for us to look back on. Something as a baseline for us to improve and get better and better. And that way, it gives us an opportunity to redeem ourselves, to aim to just do a little bit better this time, a little bit more proper. Now that you had more practice, for sure this time it won't be wrong. And that as long as you try your best, like I always said, your effort can never be fruitless. Have that determination and redeem yourself. Making mistakes is just part of the learning. Making the mistakes is part of the journey. We'll get there one step at a time, 1 foot at a time. That's how we should all feel. It's not about being perfect. It's about us. Do we find it satisfying? Do we find content with it? Because my perfection could be your baseline. To you, you might be seeing it as it's fine, it's good enough, but to me, it's never enough. It means that in reality, it's perfectly fine, guys, whatever you guys are doing in life. You're doing great. If you let that idea of perfectionism control you, you're gonna get binded where you are and you're gonna trip, you're gonna stumble. How else are you gonna get back, guys? If suddenly you trip up because of a mistake. You know, during my time learning, I had someone taught me something very valuable, and that is when we make mistake, that person who made mistake is actually of more value than they were before, because however much cost was that mistake, however costly that mistake was, that is the cost for that person to never do it again. And because of that, they are very valuable. It's often at work, say you made a catastrophic mistake. If your work just easily dismiss you, yes, they may hire another person, and yes, they may teach them about the downfall, the pitfall that the other person may experience, but it will never be the same as what the person has truly experienced, the other end. So I do find that mistakes is a valuable thing, it's a valuable key lesson. Now, you can also say that, well, what happened, that person is so traumatized now, like completely traumatized to the point where they're like, well, I learned my lesson, but I'm afraid to touch things now, do things, make a decision, make a choice, because I've made a wrong decision before. What if I do it again, right? Please don't hold yourself back. You have to have confidence in your own ability, confidence in your mind, and confidence in yourself that you are making the right choice. And sometimes you just have to make a choice. And if you really are undecisive, what I find myself doing a lot is just letting probability decide. Sometimes if I'm uncertain to do something, I'll just get a coin and I'll just flip it. But the crazy thing is, guys, is that the moment you flip the coin, before you even see the result, in your heart, in your guts, you already hope for an answer, because you already knew that's the answer that you want, and that you hope deep down that fate, destiny, the universe is telling you to do that. Well, guys, don't even look at what it is. You already know what to do. And if you don't feel anything, then still do what the coin say. If the coin says do it, do it. If the coin says don't do it, don't. In a world of so many choices, if you have too many options, too many choices, there is literally no choice. And that's when we overthink, guys. We overthink. If your loved one's asking you, hey, you know, like, I'm kind of hungry, what should we eat tonight? If you start listing all sort of fast food restaurant, you're gonna go around in a circle, because you're gonna think too much. You're gonna think of pros and cons, distance, cost, pricing, quality. It's too much. And we get overwhelmed. And when we become overwhelmed, we feel unsatisfied, because we want to make the perfect decision. We want that perfectionism. We want that the right choice. We want to make the right decision. I think we should just make a decision that we don't regret. Don't make a decision that you regret. And that's why when you do that coin flip, you already know that decision that you really, truly, truly want. So, just make a choice, guys. And if it's a choice, make sure damn well that you do not regret it. Because if you feel regretful that this choice might be wrong, you guys can sit on it, but don't sit on it for too long. Because if you're afraid of failure, afraid of moving forward, it reminds me of the story. A story of AI that was taught to play a game. And eventually the AI realized that it gets rewarded for survivability, and as long as it survives, it will gain points, an arbitrary reward. And what the AI figured out was to just pause the game. By not participating in the game, by not playing the game, they can't lose. And I feel like a lot of people out there feel the same way, is that if I don't make a choice, I can't make the wrong choice. And because I make no choices, nothing can go wrong. And because you do nothing, guys, if nothing is good enough, nothing gets done. And you guys will be stuck. You guys will be unable to progress further. Say, how can I put this in a way for you guys to understand? Say, let's put it in Maplestory term. You guys are in Maplestory, and you guys saved up a lot of meso. 10, 20, 50 bills. But at this point here, all your gears are pretty much 19, 20 stars. And now you're really just aiming for an additional star. But you feel like, I've invested so much time to earn this meso. Well, first off, guys, you now have attachment to that meso. That meso means something to you. So I guess a way to help you guys move forward is have a bit less attachment to objects. You can have attachment to people, but say inanimate objects or trivial matters, right? Don't hold too much value or attachment to meso, and that could translate to real life, which is money. Obviously, we need money to survive, but money shouldn't be the only thing that we value to people or to ourselves, right? If we're a high income earner or a low income earner. So in Maplestory, let's not value too much with meso. And then we also have to set expectation that we may get nothing out of it. And that's the truth, right? That's the fear, is that we might get nothing out of it. But if you know that, and like I said before, if you're so afraid to make a choice, then you'll probably just keep on saving meso and not actually spend it to get stronger. When you have to take that leap of faith and understand that if you guys don't try, it's not going to happen. You guys want that triple line magic attack or attack lines? Well, if you guys don't buy cubes, if you guys don't cubes, you guys are never going to see it. You have to take your shots. The worst thing you can do is just fail. Sure, you fail. You may lose some meso. But as long as you guys try your best, and what I mean by best is, use bright cubes. Cubes that allows you to retain your potential. The worst case is, you lose meso, but you still have your lines that you had before. Your strength. You're still strong. And as long as we continue to play, we can always continue to earn more meso. And that's part of the cycle of the game. As long as we play, we'll earn more, and as long as we earn, we can try again. And I feel like Maplestory has a lot of life lessons inside of the game. And that's the same thing. You may, had some monetary adventure, investments. Maybe you try to start a business, side hustle. Maybe you try to start a collection and it didn't go anywhere. That's okay, guys. As long as you guys are breathing and living and still have that determination, that will to fight, you guys can still earn more money. Money is just a means for us to live. It's not determines who we are or our value. Maplestory has all these hidden life lessons, And as long as you keep playing Maplestory and overcome these hurdles in the games, it's gonna benefit you in real life, just like fear of missing out, guys. I guarantee if you guys are able to overcome Maplestory ruthless game mechanics that really makes you feel like if you miss out, it's like the end of the world. If you guys can overcome that, you guys are just gonna become stronger at the end of that. It will. The game teaches you about good things comes to those who plans, who waits, and it rewards those who are brave and is willing to attempt and fail. But it rewards the person the most who knows how to stand back up, get back up, and get back at it. So I do find that Maplestory is very rewarding in that terms of being able to, manage expectation, fear of failures, and perfectionism. Guys, if you guys don't get triple line magic attack, triple line attack, that's fine. You guys might get something better. You guys might get something the same. But remember, if it's good enough and it gets the job done, it gets the job done, guys. Like, so far, me and Bucky have yet to receive our arcane weapon. We still have an Absolab, but I do believe that we are in the range of trying for the Black Mage. So if it gets the job done, that's it. We're not gonna go crazy about not getting our Umbra weapon. We're just gonna keep at it. We're gonna practice Black Mage, and we would be damn sure that once we do get him, you guys would know about it. And we're not gonna give up. As long as we keep playing, we're gonna get stronger and stronger. And that's our will and determination. Sometimes you guys just gotta settle. If it does the job, it does the job. Don't try to aim too high, guys. If you guys are greedy and it's like, I need to get 22 star or bust, 22 star or nothing, right? It can actually hold you guys back from getting any gains right now. If you guys get 18 star, that could be a stepping stone for you guys to work on another gear that is yet to be 18. Bring all your gears up bit by bit. That way, you guys are, working with efficiency, that your meso is efficient. I believe that aiming 18 is very good. And then 19 is where I kind of say is a checkpoint, in star forcing. 19 stars is where the checkpoints are, because if you're starring at a 5, 10, 15, right? If you guys know that to get to 17 is just not a matter of if, it's a matter of meso. If you have enough meso, then you can get it. It's not by chance, it's by meso. Enough meso, you'll get to 17 star, because at 15, there's no chance of booming. At 15 to 16 is guaranteed. And then 16 to 17 is just based off of safeguarding if you guys don't have enough copies and enough meso to get there. So you guys know that 18 is very doable. So 18 is just one extra star. If you guys get to 19, the worst case can happen is it blows up and you just lose 1 star, which means that you were at 18 at some point and now you're back at 17. But if you guys are happy to settle at 18, that's an extra star that you guys never had before. And if you guys aim for 19, well, you guys are already in that kind of limbo stage where if it booms at 19, in reality, you only lost 1 star from 18 to 17, right? Because you can always trace it back, star it back to 17 and 17 star. If you guys get 19, beautiful. It means that you guys now are able to guarantee 2 star. If you guys want to just be efficient, then 18 stars is pretty good. But after 19 stars, and if you're trying to aim for 20, I think that's way too costly. 20 stars means that there's a higher chance for you to blow up, spend like 5 bill on that, And then you guys have to climb back up to either settle back at 17, which means that you lost an equivalent of 2 stars, which is 18 and 19, which you can bring back. Or if it's at 19 and you settle there, you get 2 additional stars, and that's huge, guys. That's could mean a difference between getting another star for your 21 CRA. So what I'm trying to say is, it's okay to settle as long as it does the job. And when you guys are ready, and you guys know when you guys are ready, you guys can shoot your shot and try for 22. Or just shoot your shot for 22. But remember, you gotta have absolute resolve that if you're okay with just living with CRA 17 and those extra stars doesn't mean a difference for you going to the next boss or making your character significantly stronger for making your life better, dailies, bossing and whatnot, then yeah, you know, like, resolve it, accept it, decide it. Otherwise, settle. There's no shame. There's no shame in settling your pitch set at 20, 21. Don't have that group mentality, fear, FOMO, where everyone's telling you, go for another stars, go for another star. Because that greed can, again, it's like perfectionism. It could be a driving factor for you to achieve greatness, but it can also be our biggest downfall. We have to walk a fine line, the middle path, right? Not too much, not too little. We can see good in everything and bad in every good. There's a yin-yang balance. So, manage expectation. Perfectionism, it does make you a high achiever, but it can also stun you with fear. If you guys find yourself relating a lot, being a high achiever, like wanting the best of the best, like I don't want anything less, there's a high standard, it has to be done in this meticulous level that if it's any less, I don't want it. If you guys can relate to this, then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be great, you know, like we can do great things with that, but it also stresses us out a lot as well. It does add a level of stress. It does hold us back. It does make us doubt ourselves because we want to plan everything. But remember, there's man's plan, or, you know, we can only plan as much as we can, but there's also outside probability, like things outside of our own expectation, outside of scope. You know, in my previous video I said it's heaven's will. Sometimes there's just things out there that's just not gonna let it happen, but that's okay. We can do this, guys. So next time when you guys are ready to Star Force, first, don't feel attached to that meso, because you guys can always earn a lot more meso just by playing. It will come, yeah? It's gonna hurt, but it will come. But if you guys do value it, yeah? You guys do value it, you guys don't hold attachment to it, but you value it, then you guys gotta go in there with a plan. But you can only do the best of that plan. If you guys can plan it out to the meticulous level, fantastic. But if you guys plan way too long, by the time you realize that Sunny Sunday is going to go away and you're going to miss out on your opportunity, right? So plan as best as you can. And if you do make a mistake, that's fine as well, because now you learn. You now know how to improve. So the next Sunny Sunday or the next character or next, you know, second main or bossing meal you do, you're not going to waste as much meso as you would have done this time around. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Now you're more experienced. And then you guys have this knowledge that you guys can share it with other people, you know, guildmates, friends, and, you know, maybe your friends also has to trip up sometime as well, and they will make mistakes, and that's okay as well. They will learn from it, and that's how we all improve, right? We don't just go in there and succeed, because we learn very little from succeeding. If I go into a boss and I just blow him the heck up, I just destroy him or her, you know, like I don't learn a single mechanic. But If I go in there, even though I barely can kill him, if I practice and learn all his weakness, all their weakness, all the mechanics, heck, the next time I can play on another character and I'll gain useful mechanics, useful skills, useful hands, yeah? And it'll make, bossing every other characters much easier. Trust me, I did that for like 10 of my bossing meals, and I had to learn how to fight Populadas and Akechi properly, and even Princess Snow, and now they're just easy peasy. And it was the same thing as well, going in with Lotus and Damien. I had obviously Bucky and Ray to help me, and we all burst and blow up the boss. But eventually we two ourselves have to learn to solo, and once we figure out how to solo hard Lotus and hard Damien, then all of our other bossing meals, fighting normal Lotus and normal Damien, becomes significantly easier, right? But we have to fail, and the backbone of all those fails attempt is where we're gonna succeed. And the people that stop trying to succeed, fight, that burning sensation in their mind, the fighting spirits, or the ability to have that key component, redemption, to redeem ourselves, to get back what we lost. We lost the battle, but we win the war together, guys. It's not over. So I hope you guys enjoy this 30-minute Wapping with Capsu talk about perfectionism, about understanding that when it's good enough, it's good enough. It will get it done, guys. If you guys don't think it's good enough, nothing will get done. You guys will get nowhere. You guys will be idle. So don't be afraid. Get it done. Don't be too hard on yourself. We're often the worst critic. Fear, can be, fear can be a driving motive, but it can also stun us, right? Balance between everything. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please let us know down in the comments. If you'd like to support our channel, please hit the like, subscribe button and bell notification. That would help us so much and motivate us to make new and fun content for you, the Capsu crews. Check out our other videos while you're at it. Happy mapling, and we'll see you in the next video. This is Capsu, signing out.